Goliath Awaits is a mini-series from 1981. It's a two-part series directed by Kevin Connor, written by Richard Bluel and Pat Fielder, and we have an amazing cast. It's because of John Ratzenberger that I became aware of this. We also have Mark Harmon, Christopher Lee, Kirk Cameron. Brilliant cast. The concept sounded really interesting, and having now watched it, I can confirm that I found it to be okay. I didn't love it, but there wasn't anything about it that I disliked either, so it's certainly not bad, but it wasn't that interesting. It's about scientists who are underwater, and they discover this community of people living there in a wreckage of an ocean liner that sank during the Second World War. How are they living there? How are they surviving? Well, it's explained well enough in the film, so I won't go into too much detail, but certainly it's an interesting concept, and I found the execution to just be a little bit bland. I wouldn't say boring completely. There was enough there to keep me reasonably engaged, but I definitely didn't find it to be the most exciting experience either. But as a concept, it's certainly very fascinating. I had a lot of questions about how this could possibly happen, and within the film, the miniseries, it was interesting enough. So, would I watch it again? No, I don't think I would. But if you're looking for something a little bit different, then I'd say maybe it's worth watching. Visually, it's quite good. We have some really interesting characters. Mark Harmon is brilliant. Everybody gave a really great performance. And in general, I'd say it's fine. I'd say it's quite different to anything I've really seen before, and that does work in its favour. That part of it did keep me engaged for the most part, but as I said, it just felt a little bit flat. I feel like this is a really thrilling, exciting concept, and I just don't think it was executed as well as it could have been, at least based on my personal preference. Maybe other people feel differently, but that being said, I still recommend it. If it sounds like a story that might appeal to you, then I'd say Goliath Awaits might be worth watching. The whole thing is just over 3 hours, so for a mini-series, it's not tremendously long, and I feel like that's part of the problem as well. Usually I very much advocate making things as short as possible. Don't make things longer than they need to be to tell the story, but I feel like this one felt a little bit underdeveloped, so I think there's definitely room for improvement, but I still found it to be reasonably interesting. So if you're curious, then I guess I'm happy to recommend it. Great cast, interesting concept, reasonable execution, but with room for improvement. But that being said, maybe it's one that's worth checking out.